What's going on YouTube? So the BMW X6 was the OG coupe SUV, and it is undoubtedly still a showstopper.
And today we're with the latest 2025 model with all the goodies.
But there are more rivals in this space than ever before. So is this still the king of the hill? Well, let's go ahead and find out. All right, so let's get things started with what's under the hood. You continue to have three different powertrain selections. We have the M60 model though today, and that is a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 engine with a mild hybrid system. Altogether, you're looking at 523 horsepower. Now, in terms of your transmission, you do have an 8-speed automatic, and our combined fuel economy is surprisingly not too bad at 19 miles per gallon.
Now, we're going to, of course, be taking this out for a spin to see all the performance, as well as get things like our signature sound level reading of this luxury SUV. We'll also be discussing resale value and reliability after that.
But a big part of the X6 formula is, of course, the way it looks. So let's go ahead and get to the exterior before we talk about the interior. Now, starting off here with our front design, as you can see, this definitely has a very menacing look. Now, obviously, I already mentioned this is the M60, so this is really just going to come standard with the most aggressive front end design. We've got all the extended shadow line finish, including up here with our signature kidney grills. As you can see, nice kind of matte black finish all around through there. And you do have very aggressive lower elements down here, making sure you have plenty of airflow into that big V8 engine. Now let's talk a little bit about our headlights as well. Of course, you're going to have standard premium LED headlights. We've got the most advanced adaptive LED unit. You've got the fading turn signals and that new arrow shape they added a couple years ago. And overall, just a really nice look to these. Now, as we walk around to the rear, much like a mullet, we have business in the front and party in the back.
I love the way this looks. Now, some of you guys might not, but I think it looks really, really cool. Now, as far as some of the design elements, of course, sloped back glass through here, spoiler up top, and then as far as our taillights, these are going to be very different than what you'd find on something like an X5, for instance, because they're very elongated for X6 duty. They are still going to be full LED, as you can see. Drew hopped inside. We have an LED brake light, LED turn signal, and reverse light. So, of course, all elements are LED. Dropping down to the lower diffuser area, this is where it also keeps up the spice because we have quad exhaust outlets here on the M60i. It also tows 7,200 pounds, but more importantly, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Let's take a listen.
Now, wheel options on the X6 lineup begin at 20 inches. However, this is a BMW after all. You've got a ton of different choices. We have one of the available options. This is a 22-inch gloss black alloy. Again, really nice look to these. I love how it just matches with the very stealthy, full blacked out look of this vehicle, except for this one nice color pop here. So on the M60 model, you've got the standard M Sport Professional package, which gives you these nice blue brake calipers. Rising up here to the mirrors, these are fully loaded with all the goodies. We also have the little wing on it from the M Competition model.
Now, here at the side of the X6, we come in at an overall vehicle length of 195 inches. And of course, you can really see that coupe SUV design take hold here. Now, for your safety systems, we do have some updates for 2025 with some really cool technology. So you're going to continue to have just a few safety systems as standard equipment. Furthermore, you can option on the Driver's Assistance Professional package, which includes all the other goodies, including the Highway Assistant. But new this year, you have the lane change. So you can just look in the mirror and the vehicle will actually change lanes for you. Really cool technology here on the X6 now. But guys, there is a lovely cabin, so let's go ahead and dive into that. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, let's go ahead and move to the inside of this vehicle. First, we'll take a look at the key fob. We've got the newest BMW key fob. I like this fully gloss black finish with the M branding. You don't have to use this key fob though, because we also have our digital key system, and new for 2025 is the fact that this now works with your phone, so you can have the BMW app on your phone and be able to enter into the vehicle without either of these two objects. Now, to get inside, just reach behind the handle. That will unlock the door. And taking a look at the inside of the interior, of course, we've got a very premium design on board. Before we get into all the individual features though, let's first talk about our seats. So there's a lot going on here. Both the 40i and the M60 models do come standard with Sensafin leatherette, but we've got the optional extended merino leather package. So this means we've got this beautiful leather running all through here, just absolutely soft and supple. We've got a lot of different stitching and perforation options here. Of course, you guessed it, this is going to be a full black interior to match with the exterior, but you've got a lot of other choices as well, including coffee, ivory, and tartufo. Now, as far as the seats themselves, they will have 16 ways of power adjustment as standard equipment. We have the available 20-way power adjustment, which also includes massage as well. So it's an 8-way power massage, and everything there can be individually adjusted. But let's go ahead and get inside. Now, if you fail to close the door completely, this does have the soft close function. All right, let's look at the rest of the cabin materials. Obviously, this is an exquisite interior. We have leather going all across the armrest, all through the center section, all across the upper part of the door trim, all across the entire dashboard with the stitching detail. We also have a carbon fiber trim, which makes up all this center section. Just like the other X6 and X5 models, you've got this new kind of interactive light bar, but it does also have the M branding built into it. And then the entire center section is going to be finished in carbon fiber with more of the leather padding along the side. Now, your push button start is located right here on the center console. All right, let's go ahead and get into some individual details of the cabin. Of course, we'll take a look at the gauge cluster first of all. This is BMW's Digital Cockpit Professional system. It's fully reconfigurable digital display there. It does have specific graphics for the M60 to make it, kind of match with the M competition model. And then, of course, up top, we also have a nice head-up display. Now, coming back to the steering wheel, beautiful steering wheel. I love this design. Nice thick bolsters, leather covered airbag cover, and you also have the two color with your M stitching right through there. The wheel itself will be power, tilt, and telescoping. We do also have steering wheel heating, and in addition to the steering wheel being heated, we also have heated armrest as an option. Now let's take a look at interior storage. Even though this is a sleek SUV, we still want to have good places to store things, such as donuts. Everyone stores donuts in their center console, and we want to know how many fit inside. Well, the answer is 8. That is testing the volume like we do in every Car Confections review. Up in front of that, you're going to find another cubby where you can stick your phone. This, of course, is also a wireless phone charging pad, and you've got a couple cup holders right there. Now, like the latest BMW products, you've got a small nub shifter. We also have the available glass finish on this. Of course, the push-button start as well as the iDrive controller. Pull back for drive. You can pull back again. That's going to activate your manual shifting. And you've got paddle shifters right there on the steering wheel. Press all the way forward. That will pull up, reverse. And as you can see, we also have the available 360-degree camera system. You've got the overhead view, front and rear parking sensors as well. And then, of course, I got to show this off because everyone always enjoys seeing the vehicle in that full 3D surround. Just press the P for park. You also have an electronic parking brake and brake hold, and then you've got your drive mode controls located right next to that. Now, moving on up, we have a row of audio controls. You still have the physical volume knob, and that's going to control few different sound systems. We have the most advanced one, though. I told you guys that this was a loaded example. This is the 20-speaker Bauer & Wilkins sound system. Let's give it a sample. Wow, so yeah, overall sound quality of this system is excellent, as you'd expect. Really fills up the cabin nicely. Good balanced sound as well. And of course, beautiful metal speaker grills are all over the place inside of this cabin. Okay, let's zero in at our main screen here, and we're going to start by talking about climate controls. So of course, as you remember, what you used to have back a couple years ago was climate functions right here. Those are now inside of the display. Because we have the latest version of iDrive, you've got some dedicated controls right there, and you also have a climate menu where you can do things like adjust your automatic climate with your fan speeds and things like that. This is a 4-zone automatic climate system as an option on today's model. Now, as far as the screen itself, 14.9 inches. It does have, again, the latest version of iDrive, so you've got your kind of functions you can swipe between there. And then you got your big list of apps, including wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay abilities. Up above, we've got an auto-dimming mirror. HomeLink remote's built inside of it. We do also have a panoramic-style sunroof. You'll notice the little dots inside. That's because it does light up at night with the rest of the ambient lighting. And then finally, you have a nice Alcantara headliner.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the rear area of this X6. Now, as you might expect, the coupe-like design will mean that you're going to have a little bit less space than something like an X5 when it comes to the rear area. So let's dive into those space figures first and foremost. We're going to be sitting at 35.7 inches of legroom, 37.5 inches of headroom. So not horrible space figures by any stretch of the imagination. I'm 5'9". As you can see, I fit back here perfectly fine. Not as big as X5 or X7 as you might expect. Now, here's the seat adjustment with Drew's seating position. He's 5'8". Like I said, I'm 5'9". We're sitting at about 5 inches or so of additional knee room. My feet can slide up underneath of the seat, and the seats themselves I do find to be quite comfortable. Now, speaking of features, let's go ahead and dive into that. We have vents here in the center. Drew mentioned this in the front, but we have optional 4-zone climate. We also have heated rear seats, which are also included in that package. Little storage cubby, a 12-volt outlet, and if you need to charge things up via USB port, you can find a USB-C in the back of each seat back. If we fold down the center armrest, we do have some pop-out cup holders inside. And I want to talk about the door trim because we have a few features. First of all, we have rear window sunshades, leather from top to bottom, beautiful speaker grills, carbon fiber trim, and you'll notice that bottle storage down there in the door. It's actually big enough to fit a Stanley water bottle fully tucked inside. Really like that. It's a lot bigger than it initially looks. Now let's check out the cargo area as well. You will notice that, of course, it kind of fully lifts up most of the back because this is a kind of coupe-like design. As far as the space is concerned, we're sitting at about 27 cubic feet behind the second row of seats. If we fold those seats down, we're sitting at a touch under 60 cubic feet as a maximum. Now, like I said, not as big as X5, so you're going to be sacrificing around 15 cubic feet over the BMW X5 when it comes to space, although I'm sure most of you guys don't care quite too much about that. Now, the seats do fold 40-20, 40 split folding, and there are not any handles, so I will have to go up there and do it from the second row itself. Now, once I get those seats folded down, we'll go ahead and get our cargo dimensions. This is a Car Confections review. After all, we get that in all of our reviews. About 74 inches of overall cargo length is what you're looking at behind the first row of seats. About 41 inches behind the second row. And then as a width figure, also about 41 inches. And then overall cargo height is going to be a little difficult for me to get because just the way it's shaped. 26 inches is what you're sitting at that point, but do keep in mind it's pretty darn shallow at the end, so about 15 inches is all you're going to be looking at as you push towards this part of the vehicle. If we lift up the cargo floor, you will notice that we do have a full spare tire integrated underneath. Of course, there is also no third row option. That would be a very, very uncomfortable experience. Well, guys, here we are behind the wheel of the BMW X6. In this test drive, we're going to be talking about quite a few different things, including getting our signature sound level reading, but we're not going to leave you waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and get an acceleration in this X6 M50, or M60.
And that's a little acceleration up to 60 miles per hour with the X6 M60i. Now, obviously, this is, just an effortless task for an engine like this. The 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 engine even has mild hybrid electric componentry. And all that power, again, like we said at the spec dump in the beginning, is 523 horsepower. It's very, very impressive. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious that this is not even the highest powered version.
Yeah, this vehicle we've been behind the wheel of several times, and it is shockingly fast. As a matter of fact, we do have a 0 to 60 on this. It goes 0 to 60 in as little as 4.2 seconds for this M60i model, which is just really insanely quick. Especially paired with that V8 growl, it just really feels kind of like a hot rod, except you're incredibly comfortable at the same time. It's really a great mix. Now, there are other engine options. You can get the 40i, which is your standard engine option. That's the 3-liter turbo inline 6. That makes 375 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, so not a weak option by any stretch of the imagination, that's for sure. That goes 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. And you also have the M Competition, which is your full-blown option. Like Drew said, this is not the fastest X6 you can get. You can actually get this one instead. 617 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. Now, we have not driven the X6 M Competition, but we've driven the X5 M Competition, which is basically the same thing. And honestly, I think that this is probably the best balance in the lineup. If you care about performance, this is a really fantastic choice without going all the way up to the very expensive full M models.
Yeah, when you're just driving normally, the V8 still just adds so much to the experience because you've got that just wonderful sound and just an extremely refined engine. Like, it is so smooth. It, I guess it does have a growl, but it's not obnoxious or anything like that. And it really, it's fantastic. Of course, we love the B58 as well, but this V8 does give you that unique experience as compared to the 6-cylinder.
Yeah, I have to say, it pairs really nicely with the 8-speed automatic transmission on board. You do also have standard all-wheel drive, so really just a very luxurious and refined overall experience when it comes to the powertrain. All right, and we are up to 55 miles per hour, and we're going to go ahead and put it on fan speed 1 for our signature sound level reading. $51 decibels even. I have to say, it's just all these BMWs, the X5, X6, X7, they are some of the quietest vehicles that money can buy. We just see it time and time again as we do our sound level readings. That is an exceptionally good reading there. And as a matter of fact, we don't have to sit here and guess. We can go to carconfections.com/sound level readings, and we can see all of the readings that we've ever taken on this channel. As far as that sound level reading, as you would expect, it does place it very close to the top of the segment. It's a little bit quiet, or a little bit louder though than the X5. And of course it's louder than the X5 because the X5 has the inline 6-cylinder. This has the V8, and oh my goodness, when you put it in sport mode, whew.
It sounds just amazing. Love it.
You don't even have to be driving fast to just get that intoxicating V8 sound. And before we get any further along in this test drive, I do want to mention ride quality. So when it comes to this X6, there are a lot of different suspension setups that you can get. You just have a standard suspension, you have an adaptive suspension, you can also get an air suspension. What we have is called the dynamic handling package. So that's going to give you the adaptive M Suspension Pro. And as far as ride quality, how that translates on this model, I will say it definitely rides a little bit rougher than other versions of this vehicle that we've been in before. If you have the full air suspension, I think that does ride better. However, I think this is going to be the option that you select if you're most concerned about performance. As you can see, as we go over like these manholes, you can feel them make some intrusion into the cabin, which is very much not the case if you have the air suspension or even the standard suspension setup. But this is definitely like the most performance-oriented one, and we do have the largest 22-inch alloy wheels on this. All right, and let's go ahead and discuss another practical element, fuel economy. For this V8, you might be surprised to know that it still gets 19 miles a gallon combined, which is a lot better fuel economy than I thought it would be out of a 523 horsepower V8. You can get better fuel economy in the 40i. That comes in at 24 mpg, and then the M competition is 15 miles per gallon combined, so keep that in mind. Now, as far as other things worth mentioning, I do want to talk about the slam dunk and airball, which is our favorite and least favorite element about the X6. Drew, why don't you kick us off with the slam dunk?
The slam dunk is just going to be the powertrains. All of them are fantastic. It's just one of those things where you can't really make a wrong choice here.
Yeah.
It just depends on what your priorities are.
Yeah. On the airball side of things, what we're going to say is just the kind of X6 packaging in general. You do get less space than the X5, and it does cost more. So if that doesn't sound good to you, get the X5 instead. But I think a lot of people are definitely willing to make that sacrifice for the cooler exterior design.
Now, as far as dynamics are concerned, of course, we can speak from our experience with it previously, even though today doesn't have a great deal of turns or anything. We kind of got stuck in a little bit of unexpected road construction traffic, but fantastic overall. Really just a great handling SUV. Of course, again, choosing to have the adaptive suspension like we have when you put it in something like Sport Plus mode, you're going to have everything firm up, really minimize body roll, and of course, really tighten up the steering as well.
And as far as last things worth mentioning, you do have a 4-year, 50,000 mile, both basic and powertrain warranty. You do also get 3 years and 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. And how much is all going to cost? Well, we started around $75,000 for the X6, which does represent a price premium over X5. If you want the M60, you're going to start at $94,300. As you can see, we have the 25 X6 M60. We also have all the options. So like we said, this is fully loaded out pretty much. $113,675 is what we're sitting at today. Of course, they do also offer the X6 M competition if you want to go even higher than that. Now, if you're looking to buy a BMW X6 or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because there's a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And now it's time to discuss potential resale value and reliability to make sure you are making a smart purchase. Now, first up, we'll talk about resale value. As an economics graduate myself, Drew and I took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for this BMW X6's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years and 60,000 miles, this X6 will be worth 41.1% of its original MSRP, and after 10 years, 15.3%. Now, it's worth noting that is well below industry average for all vehicle makes. However, it is very much on par with other German luxury manufacturers such as Mercedes-Benz and Cadillac and Audi.
Now, we've also done the same for reliability by developing the Combined Reliability Index. This takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. In this regard, BMW is rated exactly at the industry average for all vehicle makes.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about our reliability and resale value measures, as well as our methodology, be sure to go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Buying a car is a very big decision, so you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle brands. And guys, that's going to be it for our in-depth review of the 2025 BMW X6 M60. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, which we hope you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, not only are you going to give us access to vehicles like this to show you all on the channel, but you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family, and we have a lot of fun in this channel that I'm sure you won't want to miss out on. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.